All right, so the very first thing you're gonna need is aluminum foil. The most important thing that you're gonna need is a UV grow light. Now, I'm gonna link the exact one that I'm using in the description. This is very important. Ultimately, if your grow light is not good, if you cheap out on it too hard, then no matter how good your icebox is, it will fail. I'm gonna use scissors, I'm gonna use a marker, highlighter, pen to mark the top of my box. I'm gonna use tape, and I'm gonna use this big clear canister. Now I'm about to walk y'all step by step and show y'all, I'm about to show y'all how I achieve results like this and do it all for a low price. So let's jump right into it. We have our tote right here, and the very first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna line the inside with foil, right? We're gonna take this foil and we're gonna line the inside of this. All right, so we got the inside completely lined right now. Here's my first pro tip. One of the gentlemen from my comments actually, he said to use Mylar film or something like that, because what happens is the heat gets trapped because this light does omit heat, right? But follow along to the end of this video. I'm gonna tell you everything, what you can do about the heat, how long your process should be, the whole rundown, right? So the next portion of this is I'm gonna use the top, and I'm gonna take the top and I'm gonna sit it on here just like this, as if it was on top. And I'm gonna sit my light in the middle of it. And honestly, I'm gonna disconnect this because I don't need it right now. So I'm gonna sit this right here in the middle, and I'm gonna take my highlighter or pen, maybe the pen will work, let's see. Yeah, I can just make scratches in it to kind of see where my cut lines are gonna be, because next we're gonna take either a knife or some scissors and cut this bad boy right on off. So boom, I'm gonna take this knife and I'm gonna at least start a hole right here, and then I might use scissors to cut it. That is not good, but it's still workable, it's still fixable because we've got strong tape and we're gonna figure this out. But I wanna just sit my light over this just to see how much fixing I'm gonna need to do. And I like to have it sitting here. We're just gonna take some of this excess foil and drop it in on the sides right here. Boom, see? Now that part of the hole is covered. Boom, and so now I like how and where this is sitting, right? So the next step, we're gonna take this off, and now we're gonna line the inside of this lid. We're gonna line that with foil. All right, and then boom, you sit it back on like this, but there's an issue, right? This foil is blocking the light. So I'm gonna just come through here with a knife and just kind of poke a little hole and just, you know, and I'm gonna actually tuck this along the outsides to kind of even strengthen it a little bit. This side I won't do. This side I will. And I know probably in the comments, some of y'all are like, but Rico, bro, this is, you know, it's not pretty or whatever. But look, I promise you this. I've seen some pretty ice boxes that don't ice no soles, bro. Functionality over design every single time. And my main goal is to make sort of a foil insulated little area where UV rays cannot escape the box through no little cracks or nothing, right? So, boom. So, the very next step will literally be to sit your light on top of it, plug it in. You plug it in, and now it's ready to go. So let's go ahead and get this plugged in. All right, so we have it plugged in and turned off, right? This is a really important part right here. These two buttons right here, you want them both on. On most lights, even if you don't have this one, you got vegetation and you got bloom, right? You need both of those on to get this kind of bright pink type color, right? And so I'm gonna see if I can get us a peek inside of here. But if you can see, boom, these UV rays, right? These UV rays are bouncing off of this foil, and that's what's used combined with the chemical to make the shoe turn from yellow back to clear, right? So there's the top, there's the inside. All right, so now let's talk about the most important part of this, and that's which chemical you're using, right? Everybody asks me, this is the chemical I'm using. This is Angela's So Bright. But here's what throws people off. They switched their branding on this bottle. So this is the same bottle, except they switched their branding. So it doesn't look like that anymore, but it's the same brand, same stuff. Salon Care 40 works. Salon Care 50 works, right? And what those are pretty much hair bleaching products. And it's really the same chemical as these. I've tested out different ones. I bought little independent ones, and they're all that same chemical, some just stronger than others, right? So boom, that brings me to the next most common asked question, which is how long you supposed to put this in the ice box, right? And there isn't a one size fits all on that one, right? Because I've had shoes that I was able to get clear within 4 hours, right? Then I've had some that I've had to put in for 24 hours on several different occasions, right? So here's the main factors. It's gonna depend on the age of the shoe and how dirty it is, right? So if you got somebody with a 2010 pair of Cool Grays or whatever 11s came out that year, it's probably gonna take you several 12-hour, 24-hour sessions to get it done. So a shoe like this that's just moderately dirty, it only took maybe 4 hours to get this clear. And the main thing that people miss is they don't scrub the bottom of these too hard, right? So you need the strongest bristle brush. I've even started to use metal sponges, just something strong that can clean these, right? Because what you'll notice is before you even put any chemical on there, if you cleaned it right, you can already see it a shade clearer and lighter than it previously was. Like, these were a lot dirtier. I've already cleaned this one. I just haven't put any chemical and put it in the ice box yet. So another pro tip would be, instead of using like a paintbrush, use a toothbrush, right? I use a paintbrush to apply it, but when it comes to like putting the chemical in, I use a toothbrush to kind of just scrub it in. Then boom, you use plastic saran wrap to put on the bottom, and then you're good to go. And then boom, the most important thing, the heat, right? The heat can be an issue. However, there's two things you can do. You can poke holes in this box and kind of let it vent, let it get the hot air out. Or you could do what I do. I use those little cold lunch thingies that you put in the freezer. We send our son to school with them, but I just use those. I make sure I have them frozen at all times, and then boom. They're designed to kind of hold that freeze for a while. So I'll sit it inside the shoe, I'll sit it next to the shoe or whatever, just to kind of regulate that temperature inside the whole box. So man, y'all put y'all input in the comments, man. Tell me where you from in the comments. Rico Gang, I love y'all. Let's get it.